Hey there. So the other day I saw this quote. It was the ending part of a post, and it said, "I'm no longer volunteering for exhaustion." And that has been playing in my mind over and over and over again. Raise your hand if you're exhausted, and exhausted in a way that sleep is not even going to touch. But we keep showing up. We keep saying yes. We keep volunteering. We keep adding more to our plate and that to-do list, even though we know that we are at capacity. We are officially at capacity. Myself, I am at capacity. We gotta stop. Because one of the things that I'm realizing is sometimes your body is going to give you warning signs to say that, hey, you are doing too much. And a lot of times we do not listen. When you get that warning sign of you need to slow down, you need to pause, you don't need to do all this today, you can do it tomorrow, we tend not to listen, and we tend to think, you know what, I'm going to keep going, I'm going to keep going. It's not sustainable. I am realizing that I've spent the last 2 years in survival mode, running from, not necessarily running, just dealing with one situation, from one situation to the next, and not really being intentional. Even though I talk about pausing, I pause here and there, and then I find myself running and grinding, and it's not sustainable. I have been in this space lately over the last few days of telling people, like, I'm at capacity, I can't do that. I'm recusing myself from projects, from work, from different things, because I am just exhausted. I want more slow mornings. I want slow evenings and slow afternoons. And the truth is, you can have that. I can have that. I just haven't allowed myself to have that because I felt I needed to keep going. So when I saw that sentence today, I'm no longer volunteering for exhaustion, that was again a warning message to say that it is really, really time to slow down. And it can be anxiety inducing. There are all these bugs. As much as I love the outdoors, I do not like all these bugs. It can be anxiety inducing to think about slowing down, because then you're wondering, how am I going to take care of this bill or that bill? Where is my income going to come from? I'm leaning more into God and my faith, and also just understanding that what I need will be taken care of. But my health, my mental and emotional well-being is not going to be taken care of if I keep going at the pace that I've been going. I want more days that start and end with me outside, regardless of the season. I'm sitting out here by this lake, catching a sunset. Let me turn and see if I can let you see what I'm looking at as I'm recording. I guess I can't. And it's absolutely beautiful. And it's so quiet here. I realized so much that the moment I set foot in a natural setting, everything just seems to slow down. I had a headache earlier today, and I went to my friend's shop, Jeans Greens, if you're in the capital region, and I picked up some teas and some tinctures to help, as I prefer to take things that are more natural as opposed to prescription medication. I do have prescription medication to take at the onset of migraine, but I just wanted to I'm distracted because I'm just watching these clouds. I'm gonna turn so I don't know if you can see that. I mean, look at how beautiful that is. Oh my gosh, that's just so amazing. Anyway, I went to pick up some teas and some tinctures because, like I said, I prefer to take things that are more natural as opposed to popping prescription medication, which I was doing the last few days until I could get to a shop. And I kid you not, the moment I, had my tea and had one of the tinctures, immediately I could just feel that release. I'm no longer volunteering for exhaustion. I'll share the original creator of that post because I really think it's an important message. We spend so much of our time operating in a space of exhaustion. Who is it serving? It's definitely not serving you. And the other thing that I was thinking about is that as we have this to-do list, if we are at capacity and something happens to us, who's going to inherit that list? All those things are not going to be done. So what's the point? What's the point? The most radical thing that we can do for ourselves is to love ourselves so much more that taking care of ourselves becomes such an important priority. You can't operate from a space where you're exhausted. I'm just distracted watching the sunset. It's absolutely beautiful. I love being able to end my day with this. It reminds me so much of how God has created this world for us to enjoy. And how sometimes when we're so busy running, we fail to realize these beautiful moments that we can experience. And what happens when we actually take a moment to pause and get to experience this beauty? It's absolutely amazing. The headache that I had earlier, I don't even feel it. I want you to think about the things that have been making you exhausted lately and realize that you don't need to keep pouring from a place of emptiness because you deserve some time to rest. So I really hope that you will consider doing that for yourself. I've heard way too many stories of people that I know and friends that I know who have operated from a place of showing up even though they were mentally, emotionally, physically, financially exhausted in so many different ways. But they felt the need to keep showing up. And all too often when you would ask them, how are you? They would say that they're okay, even though they weren't. Let's normalize, even though it can be uncomfortable, let's normalize letting people know when we're at capacity. Let's normalize letting people know when we're tired. Let's normalize rest as necessity. And let's normalize looking at our lives, especially today, like a bug went up my nose, at the things that may be draining us, and working to find a way to remove those things, those people, those experiences, those spaces from our life so that we can have more peace and more joy and enjoy these moments. Life is fragile. and moments can be brief. Oftentimes, not everything is within our control, but the things that are within our control, such as looking at our life and realizing that we are at capacity, you can make a decision. You can make a decision and say, I'm not going to keep doing this anymore because I'm exhausted. And you never know when making that decision will help to put you in a path and in spaces that are going to offer you more relief. Because at the end of the day, we all deserve rest. And we all deserve moments to just simply be still and sit outside and watch a beautiful sunset. That's it. Let's no longer operate from a place of exhaustion. Deep breaths. You got this.